Hello and welcome to our first session of Broadcast Solutions Hybrid Broadcast Innovation Days event. We are in Bingen at the company's headquarters and we are streaming live straight out of the WDR's TV OB van U3. My name is Jennifer Sarah Boone and I am delighted to be your host for this session. And with me is Humphrey Hoch. He is Senior Innovation Director at Broadcast Solutions, and Harald Glaser, Team Leader Production Technology at WDR. Due to current Corona restrictions, he is joining us from his Cologne office. Hi, Harald.
Hello.
Thank you all for taking part in this session where we want to give you some insights on this very interesting OB van. But before we start, let's take a look at what we are actually talking about. To give you an idea of what this OB van looks like, here's a short introductory clip. The U3 is part of a package of 3 OB vans. U3 is a TV OB, whereas the other 2 are radio OB vans. Broadcast Solutions delivered the vehicle in the summer of 2020. This OB is a very compact and yet powerful production vehicle. Harald, the name of this session is OB van Rethought. The OB van we are in might not be the biggest one, but it has a lot to offer, right?
Yes, of course. We needed to do a not very big OB van. It's a so-called 6-camera OB van, but it should do several things, several productions, because we as a public broadcaster are not specialized in one segment of production, but we have to do everything on productions. And it is part of a 3 OB van package, as you told. You call it TV van. Okay, we call it now cross-media strategy, because as we have the audio and the video vans, the radio and TV vans, traditionally called, now one department in my company, we said we make a strategy and think cross-media. And this is the van that is mainly video with a small audio booth, and the other 2 are audio vans that we talk about this afternoon in another session.
And how and why do these OB vans work together?
Well, the idea was we want to restrict size, weight, and cost of the video van or of this. So we decided to make a small audio booth inside the van. This means audio is not without power, but for normal TV production, this is a completely OB van. But for example, for concert productions with our own big band, with our own classical orchestra, audio booth might be too small, but we have this audio car as well in the company, so we combine it with one of the new audio cars, and when the audio is there, and this is the TV van, we combine it in an intelligent way. That means the audio van, full audio also for the TV van is produced and handled. The booth of the TV van at product like this is free for another use. So we win one more room in the video van because the audio room is inactive as an audio room, and all audio of both vans is controlled in the audio van than in the radio van. And this is not so easy as it sounds. It's tricky to control. Also, let's say camera talkback or listening or audio embedding for recording and all this. from the other van. That was the idea.
Well, thank you, Harald. Talking about flexibility, in the OB itself, is flexibility a topic that had a priority during the planning phase?
Absolutely. Flexibility in two ways. The first is how many people are working. So who is doing what and where. So we wanted to have the workplaces very flexible, and more or less we can move every function through the van. Everybody can sit where he wants to, can take his controllers with him or with her, and so we have full flexibility, and we can combine functions as small productions or separate functions if we work with more people. And additionally, even the audio cabin, not always an audio cabin as I explained before, we can use the audio cabin as something else if we do not control audio in the car, in this van. This was a big topic for us, and it's easy. This is the first thing about flexibility, and the other one is that we think modular and not in a static way, what the number of cameras means and other things. I think we talk about that. Or if I explain it now. I can explain it in that flexibility also means, for example, how many cameras do we use. The camera are not in the OB van. They are placed in stage boxes. So if we, for example, would decide to use another bus, we don't have to rebuild the car or something. We just use other boxes with other cameras inside, and camera control CCUs. The CCUs are not fixed in the van. They are mobile. They go where the cameras are needed, and this means flexibility. If the car is 500 meters away from the set, from the studio, whatever, the cameras are going into the set. This is much more flexible than traditionally.
Well, thank you very much. Humphrey, Harald was just now talking about flexibility and compact size. Being an OB van builder for many years, do you see at Broadcast Solutions a trend towards smaller vehicles?
I would say it's not necessarily a trend. The technical possibilities nowadays enables us to build smaller trucks and to remote connect trucks to each other. But it's not necessarily that this concept fits to every customer on the market. If, for example, you do big sport events and you always require 20 cameras equipped truck, then of course it would not make sense to build smaller trucks and combine them because you only do big productions. Yeah, so it really depends on each customers. So we analyze as Broadcast Solutions in forehand every time in a close cooperation with our partners and customers. What are the business plans, the business requirements for their way of production, and then we find together the solution if it is ideal to have a splitted concept, let's say, or if we build a big OB truck, like for example an HD broadcast truck, which we will hear in one of the seminars later as well. In the special way here of WDR, we of course had the requirements to have multiple possibilities to do productions, video shows, concerts and stuff like that, but they are all not always together. So it's not a big TV concert show. It could be, of course, but you also do small TV shows, you do big audio shows, and the combination of the smaller trucks is very useful here. So one truck can go to a TV show, the other one can go to a concert. So it's a very flexible concept, and especially around Cologne, and this This is also something where the customer will work. Basically, is it in a small city? Is it in a big city? Is it on a football field? You have different workplaces, so to say, and requirements. Here for this truck, it has to be small to drive into the city of Cologne, to be able to park almost everywhere and do shows. So weight was also very crucial here in that concept. So this is on one side, yeah, the combination, and of course cost efficiency as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Harald, we've been talking a lot about flexibility. What makes the OB flexible inside? Can you tell us more about that?
Well, inside it's really flexible of working space. As well, for example, you're sitting beside the video switcher. The switcher can move from the center position to the right position, because some producers want to sit left side, some want to sit the right side.
Harald, I'm sorry, but we can't hear you. Your signal is broken off. We'll try to get that fixed, and I'll hand the question to you, Humphrey. Can you say something more about the flexibility inside?
Yes, of course. So basically inside the OB truck we have, let's say, multifunctional work positions. It's not like that you have a fixed position like the production room you see behind me. It's a combined working position, so you could also, for a small show, you can do the camera matching position on that position as well, and enable small shows with only one room, basically. Yeah? So you not necessarily have to have thousands of people sitting in that truck and doing the productions on different work positions. You can really move them to the center and do the production from that point on. As Harald already mentioned in the beginning, we can do a full loaded video audio production with this truck for a small sport event or something like that, of course. In the moment, if it is required to have a good audio production, then we simply combine it. But the whole flexible work position and the whole idea of this modular concept is very powerful, and this whole thing will be supported by a very powerful routing system underneath, which is a Real Micro New HD, and with a powerful control system on top, which enables this flexibility. So we are very, very dynamic here in that truck.
Okay. So unfortunately we lost Harald's image, his picture, his video, but we can hear him. So at least we can still talk to you. Harald, in your view, what are the benefits of this decentralized routing solution?
Okay, Humphrey, thank you for explaining the topics, the needs. Yes, we have to reach church in Old Town of our area and so on. So we need a small truck. Thank you for that. The flexibility, or the idea of decentralized routing and video, decentralized technique. Well, we were interested in new technologies to get rid of this huge cabling. I was manager on TV trucks for many years, technical manager, and I always saw this huge amount of cables, cabling, hours of hours, and I always thought we have to find something better. And now we are talking about IP, we are talking about fiber transmissions, about new technologies. And I did not look from the technology side, but from the workflow side. And the workflow side means I want to pick up signals there where they are. And I do not want to bring all signals to a centralized router, where I have many cables inside the truck and outside the truck. And the decentralized solution of Riedel with MediaNet that we used before, but only for signal transportation, we now use for signal transportation, signal routing, for multi-split, and for many other things we have to do for a synchronization, for audio embedding, de-embedding, for color correction, and so on. This is all inside this MediaNet. So this means every signal goes once into this media net and comes out at the very end. And it comes out where I need it. So we use the media net frames also in the truck decentralized. So we have so-called green cable only vertically, and horizontally through the truck is fiber. And we use it outside. So that's what I said before. We go with the CCUs, even with the camera CCUs, into the set. And the camera cable starts in the set. And between OB van and my set is only one fiber connection. And if I want full redundancy, it's two fiber connections. And everything is in the set and runs there. So camera cables might be a 20-meter ring instead of 200 meters cable with a cable drum and all this stuff. And this is new for us, and we'll find out how workflows get smoother and faster now. I'm very, very curious about that. We did not make many productions yet due to Corona, but I'm very curious how this changed the workflows and gives more possibilities to work on difficult spots.
Thank you. Yeah, we were talking about the reduced cabling, that it's different here, that you don't have to have all those cables connecting you to the field of action. Can you say something about that as well, please?
Yeah, I mean, the stagebox concept, that's would be more or less, I think we have a video here as well for Harald to explain the one cable solution there. I think that would be the right way to do. Correct, Harald? You can tell us a little bit about the one cable connectivity to the stagebox?
I mean, the MediaNet UID supports 100 gig bandwidth per port. So we use all the microns that we have outside with one of those ports, and we use a 12 fiber cable. And so we bring those boxes, some with CCUs, as you see here. Some are smaller without CCUs, but also video and audio capability. And we bring them in the set. We interconnect them. Looks like a ring. It's a little bit different to a ring, but doesn't care now. We plug them together, one after the other, and transport cable on 12 fiber on a 12 fiber cable. And this includes video, it includes audio as well. We transport audio by IP or by MADI. We transport control, we transport internet, everything via this net. So we can, for example, put a workplace into the set and we connect it to the box. It's very fast and easy because we have everything in the box, every type of cable, and bring it to the WLAN. And I would say if you have a show, let's say under the earth or on a TV tower in 200 meters height or on the roof of a skyscraper, it's not a problem. We need an elevator, a normal personal elevator, bring everything up, and we need one fiber connection. Usually you find that or you do it, and it doesn't care how long this fiber connection is. So we have on the one side the production truck, the control truck, the main technique center, and on the other side it's the set. And I would call it local remote. It's a kind of remote production, but it's your own cable in between. It's not a wide area network or something like that. It's your own cable, but the length of the cable doesn't care. It can be kilometers because it's fiber. That's the idea.
Humphrey, you briefly mentioned the high human interface control system.
Correct.
What is that?
Yeah, so we are very proud at Broadcast Solutions that finally WDR choose HI, our new development, the human interface. It's a full flexible control system, which is our own development, and which enables this truck as well to work that flexible. We have a powerful user management in Hi, which gives the user the possibility to log in with their own credentials on a touch-based UI. We also have hardware panels, which via a preset delegation enables multiple users to work on the same hardware panel. So by a button push, you can delegate a preset to a working position, and this working position changes from a matching position to a quality position or vice versa. So it's really something which is on a button push and very flexible and easy to operate. So the whole concept of Hi is to make things easy, to use common usage pattern, which we all know from our mobile phones, to enable the user to feel like working at home with your smartphone, with your tablet, to understand the things. And we are really proud, let's say, to also saw that this concept is working. So WDR engineers, they actually configured the complete OB WAN by themselves. We haven't touched anything here in that truck. They just started with it. They had a one-day training, and they configured the whole truck. And this is something which shows the easiness of the system, and also that user can adapt very quickly to this. And it is the enabler for this car as well.
Thank you. Harald, you mentioned some production you already did with the OB WAN. Do you already see the effects of the decentralized approach and the flexibility of the OB during productions?
Well, to be honest, it was one production.
Okay.
It was one production yet. Due to Corona, we had to quit some. I think next week, starting this weekend, the truck's busy. In November, it's too soon to make a conclusion or to say much about experience. We have some pre-cabled spots where we not really have an advantage of this. For example, let me point out the system is full flexible. That means, for example, if I have pre-cabled camera cables on a location, I would not bring the boxes into the set. I would use the pre-cabling, maybe. And in this case, I keep the boxes inside the truck, and they are also AC conditioned, air conditioned there. And I can run everything traditionally inside the truck, but I also can bring them out, bring them to the set. So this is full flexibility. No, it's too early to tell about experience. The experience now, the first experience is trial, is configuration, is getting familiar with the systems of the users, and this feels very good. This feels very good. And in a year, we tell you everything else.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Harald. Thank you very much, Humphrey. And you, dear viewers, now have the possibility to ask us some questions. Just use the event tool on the right side of the event tool. You can find the chat option, and then you can ask us some questions. I will get them here directly on the iPad. So let's see. We've already got our first questions coming in. The first question is, how long did it take to build the OB WAN? What is the normal time frame for building such an OB WAN?
Yeah, I think I can answer to that question. So maybe let's say it a bit different. So we at Broadcast Solutions, we are very specialized in building streamlined OB trucks. So we once defined design concept which enables us to build within 4 to 6 months an OB truck, which is standardized, which enables you to select some kind of different colors and floors and different equipment to use, but it's basically a streamlined, ready-to-use concept, which we can build very quickly. The overall build time for such a OB truck, including planning, because it's a complete custom build, so the whole room design is new done, newly built, designed. The acoustic is designed, so this is potentially something which takes between 9 and 10 months. Yeah, so you have a bit more. Of course, the chassis needs to be built. So all this comes on top of it. Yeah, so but let's say within 9 months, a year, you can basically build such OB trucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So the next question. Using smaller OB vans with the new approach you mentioned, is this a direction for further production tools in the future? Harald, may I pass the question on to you?
Difficult to say. I would say the trend is with new technologies. For us, it might be a trend to combine smaller units to a big system, because combination and is easier. You can in this truck you can, for example, push 2 more cameras by just building up another camera case, as you saw before. You build up a camera case. You buy 2 cameras. You make this case. You buy another micron frame. You put it into the system, and you have an 8 camera truck. So limitation of the system is not the technique. Limitation is just the square meters of working space. And this truck is a small one. So we are limited to 8 working spaces. And if we need more, we have to go outside. But we can put a container or another room and bring out some functions. So the concept's flexible. This is the one trend. And the other trend should be, I need the space inside the van. I need for the people working there, not for the technique. So let's do the technique smaller, so you get more for the people to work.
Okay, thank you. Just a short question from Tony regarding technology. What are the brands of the intercom and vision mixer?
Yeah, so this is maybe something I can answer. So the intercom system inside this truck is a Riedel Artist system using the Riedel smart panels. On top of the Riedel smart panels, we also enable the smart panel to be a router control panel in parallel. So this is also an option which will shortly be installed in that OB truck. So you have a very powerful Artist intercom system with routing functionality and intercom, of course. And for the vision mixer, we are actually using the EVS Divey vision mixer, which is not necessarily a traditional ME platform, as you may know. It's a powerful, flexible computing platform powered by GPU power. And with that, you basically have no limits on MEs or stuff like that. You just have an amount of inputs and layers in which you can generate your program. So it's a very flexible unit.
So we have time for one more question. How long does it take to configure an OB of this size with high, and which devices can you control?
Okay. Yeah, so typically we would say configuration for such a control system inside this size is 2 days, maybe 3 days. Yeah, it's not so. It does not need so much time actually, because with high we read out all the databases of the connected devices. In this truck we have a Riedel MediaNet UHD. By the way, it's the first micron UHD built in a OB truck and being live, so to say. We control that. We control the complete routing in there, the complete processing, the complete label transfer. Multi-viewing is enabled, so for tally and the label information. Beside that, we have a Lavo MC Square console in that truck, which is fully controlled in regards to the volume control in the different rooms in here. We do fader control, event control, so to say, audio follow video in the audio console with the control system. We have the KVM system in here, which is an ESA KVM system. which we are also controlling. Then there is a tiny little Navion timecode router in here, which we are controlling, and a lot of Sono VTS displays, which we are also controlling with the system in regards to switch to the different inputs. So the redundancy concept of that truck is also to change the inputs of the monitors from HDMI to SDI, and this is done with with just a button push.
Well, thank you so much.
May I add just one sentence to that? Humphrey,
Yes,
my answer is simple. Fact that a controller controls everything, just everything, even the heating or the whatever, or the temperature control, power control, and everything. Therefore, it is a controller, and we are going on this way. We are very far on this way to control everything with a high controller. And the trend is that you buy technical things without any control. It's black box, so you need the controller more and more, and that's the trend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Harald. Thank you very much, Humphrey, for your insights and for answering the questions. Thank you all for participating. If you need any more information on the project or the technology that is needed, please do not hesitate to ask our speakers over the event tool. If you like, we will see each other again today at 2 p.m. for our next session, where we will be talking about the radio OB van that we already mentioned. Together with Harald Glaser again and the Broadcast Solution engineers, we will explain how it is possible to build a small Sprinter-based radio OB van that comes with the same audio characteristics as a larger and heavier truck. I hope to see you then. Until then, take care and see you at 2. Thank you very much.